So tonight we got the man, the myth, the giant.
Jamie Christian Johal. Welcome,
Hello.
buddy.
I am here.
I'm here.
He's there. He's definitely filling out. We feel we have the dress code tonight.
Yeah, he missed the dress code.
You missed
I
the
had a
dress
back.
code, buddy.
My JP's in the wash.
Ah.
Oh yeah, you see, mine's creasing. It's too bad.
Yeah, it's good. When you fill it out even more, you just stretch it.
Oh yeah, but this is the oversized. It's meant for a leg day shirt, so it's supposed to be like this.
Yeah, but why don't you tell us a little bit about you, the story, for the listeners who might have been living under the rock?
Who is Jamie Christian Johal? Who is the giant?
So I am, and I'll tell my age as well, which is something I don't like to say anymore because I'm always older than everybody I speak to. Well, I'm 34 years old, 35 in August. From the UK, obviously, from a place called Nottingham. You might know Robin Hood with his arrow. That's nothing to do with me, but he is from Nottingham, or was. So I've been bodybuilding since 2009 was my first competition.
Yeah.
Got my pro card in 2018, 9 years on, in Italy. And then I took the whole year off and was planning on competing this year in May, which is no longer going ahead. But my plan now is to compete later in the year. So I've got another phase where I can grow. I'm 6'5", so obviously mass for me is harder to come by. It just takes longer to fill out the frame, which I've been doing for obviously so many years now. But my stage weight, when I get on stage, will be around 300 pounds. So a good stage weight with more room to fill. And I'm not doing too bad. But yeah, that's me so far. You could argue the fact that I'm the tallest ever IFBB pro, but I definitely am the current tallest IFBB pro. Yeah.
And in metrics, we're looking at like 195?
195, yeah. So there's only Ralph Moller, which was said to be 2 centimeters taller, but from the 80s and 90s, the weights are very skeptical.
Yeah.
You know, like wrestling, they always add 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, bodybuilding was very much the same because it was such a sport of visual presence that they would add weight and height to just make themselves look even better. So there's only him and Louis Ferrigno that was only ever said to be 195 and above. Yeah.
Was Lou Ferrigno that tall?
He's supposed to be 195, but I've had people that have met him and spoke to him and say he's like 2-3 centimeters shorter.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember the two of us are normally just about the same height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what was Lou Ferrigno's weight, because he could, everyone's seen Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
But he came back in '93 when Dorian had his best year, and he was like a freak.
Yeah. I think he was like 300 pounds when he came back.
Really?
Yeah, and in Pumping Iron, he would have been about 270, 280.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, in my last show, I was 285. So, very different kind of physique in terms of look.
Yeah.
But very similar weight. Just different structure, I guess.
You two have the same structure, kind of.
Just with 100 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, there's a size difference. But I know that Emil, you're like his idol.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to say this because it's hard. He's met some of the defiance that you have with being as tall as he is, being told that you can't do this, you're too tall, you're stringy, you're never going to be a bodybuilder. But he's had you to look up to.
Yeah, I've told Jordan like the plan is Jamie.
Chasing the giant.
Chasing the giant.
That's why we eat the bagels whole, because giants eat bagels whole.
Better get the t-shirt. I'll send you one. Yeah. No, I was going to say, to give you some perspective, in 2012 when I competed, I was 210 pounds. So that's 75 pounds.
That's not a lot for your height.
75 pounds in 6 years, stage weight. So it can be done.
I'll be 210 next time.
You said you started bodybuilding in 2009.
Yeah.
Does that mean you started competing, or was that when you first picked up weights?
No, that's when I first started competing. I started bodybuilding, like going to a gym in 2001.
Okay, so that was actually 8 years of it progressively gets more serious, but it was 8 years of training before you got on stage.
8 years of training and
17 years to turn pro.
The first 10 years, or even 11, was all natural as well. No drugs.
Yeah.
You were 33, so 44. So what year were you born?
85.
85. So you started lifting weights at 16 years old. Yeah.
Age like fine wine.
Yeah, age like fine wine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I just wish, and we'll probably get on this later on, but I wish I knew then what I know now. Because
same.
I would have been a pro much sooner, with more of a future ahead of me in the sport. Now I've got a limited time to make a big impact.
Yeah.
But it's always easy to say that after.
Yeah.
You can say that about everything.
Yeah.
The girlfriends, the jobs, everything, you can look at it that way.
Yeah.
But you just got to make the best of what you got now. Because
definitely.
Obviously, we feel like we're ahead of our age because we have the knowledge available. I know back in 2001 when you started working out, you didn't have the access to information that you have now. Google, probably Google was around, but it's more used now. We have forums. We have guys like Jordan Peters, John Meadows, Scott Stevenson, and they're easily available to us through just a click. So that obviously put things into perspective. You did start at a young age, 16. I started going to the gym at 15.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Around 15.
When I was 11, I was doing like push-ups at home, but I started at the gym when I was 15. But you got what you got, and you're 34 now. Mm-hmm. Look at Sean Roden. He became the oldest Mr. Olympia ever at like 42 or 43.
You could be the new Dexter Jackson.
There's one thing that goes against me is my heritage and skin color. No racial impact meant, but it's true.
All rants are welcome on this podcast.
Yeah, we have no limits here.
No filter.
Dark-skinned people age better. And that's one reason why Dexter Jackson is what he is at about 52.
Yeah. We've all seen the old white guy at the amateur show.
Yeah, with the wrinkly stomach.
He should have stayed home.
This guy should have stayed home. With the heavy posing routine and wrinkles everywhere.
Yeah.
But you're right. No racism, but black guys do have, it is a different race. They do have different genetics, but you probably know it better. Who's a good old white bodybuilder? How old was Branch Warren when he retired, or Dennis Wolf?
Yeah, I think Dennis Wolf was one that springs to mind, and I'm sure he was like early 40s.
Yeah,
exactly. You're looking at 41, 42.
So you got 8 years.
You got like 8-9 years. You've been a pro for 1, 2.
Yeah. I think realistically for me, if I can make some good impact in the next like 5-6 years, I'll be happy to retire when I'm 40.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah, because now following you for a few years, it seems that you started working with Jordan again. You've taken a big step forward.
Yeah, that's only since May.
That's only since May, and what you're doing is working. It's obvious. It's on paper, So if you continue to do that in 8 years, look what you've done in 1 year.
Yeah. No, it's massive what we've done this year. And I know we'll get onto it, but I think the biggest thing for me that's changed is purely consistency.
What about environment?
The environment is massive because I'm now surrounded with people that are chasing the same things at the same kind of level. We're all motivating each other. And I train with people like Cuba, we bounce off each other. Jordan's my mentor. Obviously, I look up to him, look up to Corin. So the circle of people, the environment I've got at home, supportive wife, it all leads hand in hand. And now obviously I've got the knowledge as well, and it all just mixes together to make that perfect recipe. As long as I tick all the boxes continuously, day by day, I'm going to progress.
Environment means a lot. Like,
Yeah, it does.
keeping a low stress and having that supportive network to just let you allow to focus on the things that you're supposed to focus on.
Yeah.
I don't know how far a drive Ultraflex is for you, but I heard something like Jimmy
takes 3 hours.
3 hours in total of driving or something like that.
Yeah.
But environment
yeah, it's insane, but yeah, if you can get the right mix, then it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I've just done this. I have swapped gyms recently to a gym less like 45 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Just to get the environment and the new training partner and the new equipment and everything, just to progress even further.
Yeah.
So I'll see you on that one. And you said consistency, and you said ticking the boxes, and that's funny.
That's something we talk a lot about.
Because we talk about that all the time on the podcast, and everybody is like, "What does it mean ticking the boxes?"
Listen, anybody can eat a diet for a day or a week, but then you try and do that same diet for 5 months, 6 months, a year. Like the majority of people just would crack. They wouldn't be able to do it.
Yep.
And that's what I've done this year. I've done, instead of doing 2 good weeks, 1 bad week, I've done 52 good weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, my not perfect week is I've ate all my calories, I've done my training, but I might have eaten something extra that I shouldn't have, that wasn't in my diet.
Yeah.
Which is, when you're at this level, when you're ticking all those boxes, it's okay to have those bits off. But when you're ticking half the boxes and you're allowing yourself to have this extra shit, then that's just leading anywhere. That's just making you go backwards. And
that obviously wouldn't happen on prep. That's like you're in the off season and you have a glass of wine with the wife.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, but I might have an extra pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
The pizza.
But you get the point.
Yeah.
You still get all your meals in.
Yeah.
You had a little extra, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the small amount of balance that we as determined bodybuilders have.
Yeah, because
I'm not trying to put us in the same boat, but we're trying to do the same thing, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
We calculated the sum of our off-plan meals this year.
Yeah.
And we have hit our meals with like 99.96%.
Yeah.
I think
I have had about 700 meals this year until now. I have two off-plan meals.
Yeah.
Because Jordan's always like perfect weeks. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes a difference. And if you start allowing yourself to have off-plan meals, then that becomes okay, like mentally. And once it's okay mentally, you do it every week.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And then you might do it a few times a week, and then where does it go from there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That turns into pizzas.
And the only reason he had off-plan meals was because my prep ended and Kuba was like, go eat.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll join you.
I tried to be like, he told me, go eat. And I'm like, eat what? How many grams? What do I eat? And he's like, relax, eat. And you know, we've been on this robot mentality for so long. I was stressing about it. And he told me, he sent me a voicemail. He's like, relax, just fucking eat what you want and check in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he did that like 5 times in a week because he upped my food, but the weight just kept coming down.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to switch off. You know, the first 2 or 3 times I was concerned. I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna have to do more cardio. On my last meal, I'm probably gonna eat less carbs to make up for it, and I'm probably gonna weigh a lot more tomorrow. But you know, he basically forced me to eat like 5 times in a week.
Yeah, and I told you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we had an off-plan meal together, and Kuba was like, don't do extra cardio, do still have your last meal. But we ate, you know, we're big boys, or we don't feel big with you, but in relative to normal people, we ate a lot. And I was like, fuck, man, I think I ate enough. I don't need my last meal.
I can't have my pre-bed meal. I was like, shut the fuck up, go eat.
Yeah, just
like,
go
all
eat.
right.
Because that's the robot mentality. If you do have it, like you said, it becomes a habit having off-plan meals.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to be forced to make it a habit to just make it okay in my mind to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just comes with time, you know, especially with being in prep and being so robotic for a long time. It's hard to, like, say, snap out and switch off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you start thinking about everything that you do as a bodybuilder has a benefit, well, those extra calories has a benefit because it's going to get you out of that hole and your metabolism is going to kind of switch to allow you to gain weight again. It took me 5 to 7 days to kind of switch from prep to gaining again, because my body, like you said, was just burning through food.
You want to hold on to the condition.
Yeah, just burn through.
And then when you start flipping the switch and the weight starts going up, then that's the time when, okay, now we need to calm things down again. And mentally, you've kind of switched on to, yes, more food, more food, more food. And then it's a case of like dialing that back.
When you have to control it.
Yeah, it's constant, like different stages and different.
Yeah, because when you then start to eat, you know, your body upregulates your hunger hormones.
Yeah.
And then your brain is telling you to eat all the time, but you have to get back to just following the plan. But one thing we talked about is that me not being able to enjoy a meal with my fiance, that's not healthy. Like me not being able to go out and shop with her and just think, what do I want to eat tonight? What can I enjoy and relax? I wasn't able to do that. And we talked about this. The thing that it's probably healthy to be able to actually switch off and say, it's okay to eat this one meal and this one dessert and then be back to playing tomorrow.
You see, if I'm in the off season, which I kind of am at the minute, but I'm still working towards a show, so everything's like still very regimented.
Yeah.
But there is an element of flexibility in my mindset that if we're out in public, if we was allowed out, which we aren't at the minute, but let's say my meal 5 is homemade burgers or I have steak at home, then I'll go for a steak with the wife at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But a lot of people mentally, if you're that tuned in, I can't go to the restaurant. I got to weigh it. I got to cook it. You got to take control. I think it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I used to be like that. Like Friday night, I need to stay home and eat my tawa.
Yeah.
Instead of going with the family and like, okay, right. They got potatoes, they got steak. I had mince and steak, mince and potatoes. We could swap that around, but I was like, nope. I had to bring my tawa. I had to eat that, and everybody was looking at me weird.
Yeah.
But we're working at it. We're working onto it.
I think when you're the height we are as well, and the frame is this big, you need the off-plan food.
Yeah, can you tell Jordan that?
No, well, I'm sure he'll be more open to allowing you to eat because of what he's done with me. Because I think I'm the biggest guy he's ever worked with in terms of structure and size. You know, he's probably worked with people the same body weight, but completely different shape and setup.
Yeah, true.
So to keep me full, we knew after about 12 weeks of dieting that there is no amount of clean food that would do the job. So I said to him, look, in all these other preps I've done, I've had pizza. So 1 week pizza, the next week we had 2. The week after it was like, right, okay, have the 2 pizzas, but have more. So have whatever you fucking want, have chocolate. And it was like a bit of an experiment for him. But he saw the more I ate, the better I looked.
Yeah. Yeah, because he can be pretty anal about it.
Yeah. So he's
I've told so many times, like, no off-plan meals at all. I was like, all right.
That's what I'm thinking is it's maybe not just the food that makes you look better. It's maybe the switch off.
Yeah. Stress.
The reduction of stress and just relaxation, the good sleep from just switching off and just enjoying time with a friend or a girlfriend and enjoying some good food instead of being, you know, straight into the diet and this is what I have to eat and this is what time I have to sleep. Instead of maybe just switching off, eating a nice meal and falling asleep on the couch watching a movie with your wife.
Yeah.
Maybe that is also what make you look better.
Yeah. I think it's good to have an element of balance in the sense that you can switch off, but still mentally feel as though you've hit the plan and you've ticked the boxes. So,
a little bit of balance, but not too much.
Yeah. So when you wake up the next day, that was nice. Today's back on plan.
Yeah. 100%.
But let's dig into the questions.
Yeah, let's dig into some of we want to hear a little about how you went from being, you know, a hobby builder, to call it that, to when it became serious. We know you worked as a firefighter for 9 years.
Yes.
Were you a firefighter before you started weight training?
No, I was a firefighter after. I actually joined the fire service I think I was doing my second competition. So I was already competing, but at a very kind of low-key level.
Yeah.
When I joined the fire service the year after, that was my first like real competition with an actual federation. So throughout my career, the passion and the kind of intensity of the bodybuilding just went like this.
Yeah, progressive.
So the ability of me as a fireman went like this. It was pretty crossed.
We watched your episodes on YouTube where you visited your old firefighter friends.
That says it all. You know, I was towards the end, I was shocking.
He loved you, but he was like, the amount of food and no space in the truck. That was funny. I used to be a youth firefighter, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Just a fun note.
You guys probably understand what I say when I became completely disconnected to the job, wanting to work, wanting to help people. You know, I just didn't want to be there. And as much as people would love to do that job, I was just always thinking about bodybuilding. So my day was still organized around what times I was eating, what times I was training. Even though I was at work, it was like, fuck you, I got to do this.
Yeah, the never-ending stopwatch in the back of your head telling you when to eat.
Yeah, I remember in the video, it was like you stole the bike from the gym to your bedroom at the fire station so you can get up and do your cardio, or you would run the stairs or something.
Yeah, man, up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
My own stairmaster.
Yeah, it used to be like that for me. Like when in prep, you know, I was at work, but I was not there.
Yeah.
I was just living by the clock. Okay, I have to eat now. Eat. Go back to work. Just completely switched off.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people in that situation, it's definitely a bad thing because you could end up obviously, let's say worst case scenario, you don't get anything out of bodybuilding, you lose your job. Yeah. So then the support system and the income for the bodybuilding is no more.
Yeah, if you're not able to do your job.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I fell into my situation by chance. I think everybody makes their own opportunities. So I had the option to buy a gym in 2017, at which point I was in prep. I was off sick because I had a pattern in the fire service that when I was in prep, towards the end of my prep competition time, I would go off sick because I just couldn't physically work. So I was off sick.
On vacation?
Yeah. I think I was off sick for about 3 months as well. So it was a tough prep.
It's the coronavirus.
I'm very sick. Oh, and accidentally have a show. Yeah.
every year as well.
Yeah. Funny how I looked so good after being sick for 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. But that opportunity to buy the gym was like a bit of a light bulb moment. Okay, this is my way out. At the time, I was still battling and fighting to become a professional. Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, if I can get the gym, I can focus on becoming a professional even more, which was the plan originally. So I bought the gym, left the fire service. 2017 was a complete washout because the gym was so much of a fucking task to get going and look after and run that competing just was never going to happen.
Yeah.
So then I was like thinking, oh shit, this is going to backfire. But then I made the choice to, luckily I had the online. So I was online coaching, I pushed that more. So my income then became all online.
Yeah.
So the gym then became, well, I don't need it as an income. So I'll pay staff to run it for me. That way I can train and do things whenever I want. And that's how it's led. So 2018 was completely different to 17 because I had 100% time and dedication to compete. And got the pro cards and I'm here now. So yeah, you can't, like I said, you make your own opportunities. Some people would have turned that down. I've got a safe job in the fire service, cushy little number, okay salary. No, I'm not leaving. But I took the opportunity to buy a gym that was really run down. And the members, I asked the guy, how many members have you got? He brought out a sheet of paper, A4 piece of paper. He was like, there you go. There was 25 names on it.
Great.
So, you know, I took a gym over and paid a decent amount of money for it with 25 people on the books.
Yeah. But you believed in it.
A mad bodybuilder would have done something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to a point where you believed enough in the whole bodybuilding thing before you quit your job, because it sounds to me like you knew very quickly that bodybuilding was what you wanted to do, and firefighting was just your income. It became like that.
Yeah.
At what point, like, if you can describe what point makes you take the decision to go all out on the dream? You know, to go from, oh, I have this safe income and I'm pushing towards my goal on the side. But at what point, like, what turning point was in your head where you're like, fuck the firefighting, I'm all in. And if I'm failing, what happens? Like,
making side hustle to main hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think luckily for me, I've always had the strong support system at home.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie, my wife, she's always known me as a bodybuilder. But through the years, obviously, I've got more tangled in the web. So she's had to transition with it. But when she understood that when the coaching was going really well, I was earning a good income from the coaching, that was a bit of a light bulb to her that, okay, we could provide a family and get a good income from this, from the coaching, but more so support the bodybuilding and the career. So having that belief just puts your mind at rest and allows you to make that jump, I think.
Yeah.
If I was not having that support system and always kind of fighting back and forth with my partner, then I might have still been in the fire service. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because morally, you've got to try and keep the family happy and do the right thing at the same time.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, exactly. But I was never held back. I was always pushed. So it made the decision a lot easier.
Do you actually pay her to cook your meals?
Yes.
You do? I didn't get if it was a joke or not.
No. £500 of my own money from PayPal. And she reminds me when I get paid as well.
That's for 2 meals a day.
I've had to pull her up today because she's not made it for the last 3 days. She says, well, now you're locked down, you've got more time to do them yourself.
And you're like, well, I'm still paying you. Does that include that she buys it too?
We try and do our shopping online, to be fair. So,
oh, really?
But that's not really working out at the minute because all the online bookings are taken because it's so busy.
It's fucked up.
Well, I go to the shop. I'm not fussed. I'm not one of these people that expects the woman to do everything.
Oh,
Mac!
Not like you.
Bring me my beers.
But does the £500, does that include the manicures also?
Yeah. They're free, mate. Manicures,
tying the shoes, fixing the eyebrows,
cleaning up after the chest infection.
Oh, everything. She loves it. She loves the chest infection as well, especially.
We love following it. It's funny. Tell us about your time with Gaspari. We know you used to be the main man of Gaspari.
Well, yeah, I could have been the main man. There's Kate and I walking past the door seductively. Greek.
Oh, she heard about something with chest infection.
Yeah, she's calling for the phlegm. So, Rich Gaspari, I was sponsored by Gaspari before I was a pro. I met him at Body Power in 2017. And he basically said to me, Jamie, you're very marketable. If you get your pro card, I will sign you on a contract. That
wasn't you signed before?
Yeah, but I was basically Gaspari America and Gaspari UK were two different entities. The UK guy is very small.
Okay, we got it twisted from the Size Game podcast.
Pardon?
We got it twisted from listening to the Size Game.
Yeah.
We thought you were like the main man.
Well, yeah. So when I get my pro card, I was signed by Rich.
Yeah.
And he was giving me all we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I got a salary. I got all the supplements I needed. But since I signed in October, I never received $1 or one supplement. So from October till April, I was holding out. I got Rich on WhatsApp. I was messaging him every kind of couple of weeks, every month to just check what was happening. And he was going through a lot of legal stuff his side with the company itself. He just bought it back. he had to copyright and change a lot of the names of the labeling. So the supply chain to the UK had kind of stopped.
Oh.
But he gave me all the promises month on month that it was going to be okay. And I just got to a point where it's like, look, enough's enough. I can't wait for this deal to happen.
Nothing's happening.
I signed the contracts, and you've not given me anything. Jordan asked me at the same time in April, look, I got an opportunity for, what do you think? And it just sounded too good to kind of let me pass by. So
if you're not, that was 6 months of not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Why? Anyone could have basically offered you anything and you would have said yes. And Trained by JP at that point was at a very good time.
Yes, yeah, because
that was when Sass and Luke were still at it, right?
No, they'd left at that point. What happened at that point is JP had just started his own supplement brand.
Yeah, I know. He took me out as a client.
Anybody affiliated?
Client of Jordan's. And
you used to be.
Yeah, I used to be.
I survived.
Yeah, and I got a mail from him in the end of January 2018 where he said he had this line of seminars coming up, launching the supplement company, launching the clothing company. So he obviously had to cut down on clients.
Yeah.
But
that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. It was fun.
That was great.
He pushed me 70 pounds in 8 months.
Well, that's not too bad, is it? That's good going.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Fuck, man. I tried that. I tried to be 250. That was not fun.
Wow, yes. When you get heavy for you, like whatever that weight is for you, it's not a nice place to be. And
I'll tell you, we started in May.
Yeah.
I was 182 on stage, May the 6th.
Yeah.
And 8 months later, I was 250.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
I got up to eat every night for 6 months to get it all in.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
He feeds you.
At least you knew that you had the dedication to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do. Yeah. And we both eat a lot of food for our weight.
Yeah.
You know, it took me and Kuba, we went to just below 7,000 calories to get to get over 220 pounds.
Yeah, that's mad.
And
that's crazy.
And I'm sitting still at 220, 235 at 6,000 calories.
Yeah. I think a lot of it depends on your activity.
These days it's pretty low, but normally it's like 10K a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, my activity when we pushed was like maybe 8,000 steps a day, and he had me on 20 minutes cardio daily. Easy cardio, you know.
So it's not much.
It's a lot. What I'm thinking is, what if it takes me almost 7,000 calories to get to 220? What does it take to get to eventually 250?
Yeah, well, you've been there once, but next time you'll be there in a lot better composition.
Yeah, true. That's true. All right, so we want to dig into your experiences from working with different coaches. Because as you said, you're with Jordan Peters now.
Let me just throw my dogs out a minute.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
They're going crazy.
The Frenchies.
1 sec. Yeah. Wait. Well, out.
A big bodybuilder needs small dogs.
That's better.
Yeah,
Quiet.
Whatever you do, don't get too.
Oh, God. One's okay. Two's definitely a crowd.
Yeah, wasn't it Corin that said that to you? Whatever you do, don't get too.
I
love your check. You know, my girlfriend, she loves dogs. And there's been some times where you post up a video of you checking in with your dogs, like fighting on your feet as you're posing. It's
a nightmare.
I love it.
I'm just switched off when I'm doing my posing, so it's like they could probably do whatever. I won't even be bothered.
Yeah, but maybe we could talk a little bit about the different approaches with Milos, Kegel, and JP.
Yeah, we talked about now you're working with Jordan Peters, but we know that you've worked with several coaches prior to Jordan.
Yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about your time with Milos and your time with Kegel, and now put that in perspective to Jordan, because on this podcast, we preach a lot of the same stuff that Jordan does with get the most out of the least, volume, food, high intensity, all of this stuff. So maybe compare your experiences with that to what you've been doing prior.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll start with Milos, because Milos was the first coach I ever had. That was in 2015, when we actually went from a very average-looking physique to winning the British finals in the national competition. So what he did definitely worked. I definitely looked a different bodybuilder by the end of the diet. And I think I worked with him from April till October. And then we had another years after that as well. So 2015 to nearly the end of 2016, I was with him. Good year and a half. But he was obviously, he's known as the insulin man. So high insulin, I'm talking like 120 IUs of insulin a day, which if you don't know how much that is, normal people would probably use 10 to 15 max a day.
Well, that's a lot.
So I'm talking like over 10 times the amount. And he'd do that in 2 workout sessions. So you train AM and PM, and I'd do like 20 or 30 IUs pre and post twice a day. His kind of approach was that we would flush as much nutrients and blood into the muscle as possible, and that would incur cell swelling and growth by just basically feeding the muscle growth, driving the nutrients in using insulin. And that's what he did with all his athletes and still does today, because obviously he's like a pioneer of the high volume and giant sets.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's a lot of, I remember Sergio Oliva was working with him at a time, and it was a lot of pump stuff.
Yeah.
So how did you do the workouts? Because I followed Ben Pakulski a lot, and he likes 2 a days. I know Joe Bennett does also, but that would be like a harder workout in the morning. Like you had back or a pull session in the morning, and then you would come back and do like rear delt and biceps in the evening. How was the training split like that?
It's maybe it's more like the Arnold split, so back and chest, legs and shoulders.
Yeah. It was pretty much like that, to be fair. Yeah, you train something different in the evening than you did in the morning. It'd be kind of opposites. So, yeah, you do chest in the morning, back in the evening, and then legs, then shoulders, then maybe arms. But yeah, very high volume, supersets. It was very good at getting in shape. Like the intensity was that high regarding like a cardiovascular volume approach that you just got in shape quick. Well, I would say in the off season, it wouldn't have worked so well. I've kicked the dogs out. You've watched the podcast. You know I've got a weak bladder. I've got to go for a piss.
We have to.
We'll take a piss too.
We'll take a piss too. About this.
Fantastic.
We'll just.
Awesome. So yeah, in the off season, I don't think the approach that Milos had was that good. Just because for me, it seemed like he was doing too much. Like obviously now having adapted to the Jordan style of training with the lower volume and the heavier loads, you can definitely put more poundage through the muscle. Yeah, and I'm not saying that the amount of weight you put through a muscle is the be all and end all, but it definitely lends, for my sake, my thought process now, to a more successful growing phase, having a lower volume, kind of high intensity approach towards how you lift weights, lower sets, higher weights, low kind of rep ranges, as opposed to going to the gym and doing almost like a circuit, a giant set. So you feel like you've had a good cardio session almost.
Yeah, I feel
and it's going to drop immensely.
Loading.
So, pardon?
Loading.
Yeah, loading. Yeah.
But not only the approach that Jordan has and that we have with the high intensity, low volume, heavy loading training style, it's not just that, but it's the goal of progressing that. It's not just doing the heavy work. It's writing it down and trying to beat it next time. It's not random.
Yeah.
we have a phrase in this podcast which says random training produces random results.
Yeah, true.
You can use that if you want. It's all right.
Yeah, you can copy that.
Random training produces random results.
Yeah, because that's like it does. You know, if you go into the gym and you
just winging it,
you don't know if that amount of volume in total, you know, weights times reps was more than last time, if it's a new stress or not.
Yeah. I've actually got a training split here from Milos that's on an old email. And this was on single workouts a day, not doubles. But Monday was back. Tuesday was chest and arms. Wednesday was legs. Thursday was delts and back. Friday was chest and triceps. Saturday was legs. Sunday was off.
Okay, so six training days.
6 sessions. 2 chest, 2 legs, 1 back, which is bizarre really because my back was the weakest part, but at the time.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Taking from that, Milos always, and this is where you kind of find out, and you'll find out as you kind of move through, that people push on their clients what they do themselves.
Yeah.
So Milos
do that also.
It's
Milos always,
you find something
Milos always 11 times a week. He did 11 sessions every week without fail. And to be fair, he logbooked every single diet day, every single meal, every single session.
Yeah, I've seen the
so he did use a logbook, but to a different degree than what we do. We're more logging weights and poundages and progression.
Yeah.
But I think that was very familiar of the times. You know, the 80s and 90s were very much high volume pump work athletes.
Except for this one guy that stood out. He was a UK guy also.
Yeah, just the guy called Dorian Yates.
The guy called Dorian Yates.
Yeah. I read his book, The Shadow.
And then you got Ronnie Coleman.
If you ask me who is my favorite Mr. Olympia of all time, it's Dorian. And after Dorian, I have Jay Cutler. I love these guys.
Yeah.
The big white.
He just did everything differently.
Yeah.
There's a reason they call him The Shadow.
Yeah. No, he set the precedence for like the new mass culture.
Yeah.
But had this dense, grainy physique that could only be forged from heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You know,
no one else looked like him.
No. A lot of the physiques from that era were big, but there's a different kind of look. And I think that was because they could genetically grow off this high volume training.
Yeah.
But I feel even then, and I'm not saying that guys today aren't working as hard, but it seemed like because they didn't have the Instagram, they weren't living off of this. They were only living the lifestyle more so than they are today. I feel they loved the gym more than some bodybuilders may do today.
Yeah. I think they did enjoy being in the gym, and that's probably why he had 11 sessions a week, because he literally just enjoyed being there.
Yeah.
But
who likes to rest? We don't like to rest.
We like to progress.
Yes, and rest is progression, so you kind of just force it.
This is kind of
so
now he says it.
Yeah. You're saying the exact same thing that we always preach on this podcast, which is great because that hopefully tells the listeners that what we're saying is complete bullshit.
Maybe it'll start working.
Maybe it will start working.
So let's move from Milos, who was an insulin man.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Alex Kickle. He was my next coach, and I'll call him the scientist.
Yeah, he's very scientific.
He was a drug man.
Yeah.
But through my own trial and error, obviously on myself, realised, in my opinion, doesn't really know what he's talking about. I'm just going to put that out there. I think he's a very, very good marketer, which is what some of these coaches are. They're market.
He does produce great results. We were just looking through his Instagram today.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. But I think the results are based off unnecessary measures. So for me, for example, he had me on DNP, which is a stupid drug that I would advocate nobody take.
DNP?
DNP is basically a fat burner, but if I was to tell you they make dynamite with it and they kill cockroaches with it. Because
the catalyzer from TNT.
Yeah, that's it. It's nasty stuff. It's basically a poison, and you're swallowing a tablet form of this into your system every day to increase your core body temperature to dangerous levels to incinerate body fat.
Jesus Christ.
So I turned a 20-week prep into a 10-week prep because my fat loss was that quick. But what I didn't know at the time is that prolonged use of this insanely strong oral that I was taking would have many, many adverse side effects that would actually last for a long time after. I mean, imagine going into a show and you're ready and your face is sunken in, you've got skull-like cheekbones, and then all of a sudden, from nowhere, your face looks like you've been in off-season for 20 weeks. Bloated.
Just like mine.
Yeah, we're kind of opposite here.
Yeah, but mentally, looking at yourself in the mirror when you're shredded and ready to go on stage, and your face changing from a week out to like a 20-week out look.
Why did it do that?
That was just a side effect of the drug. I think my body got that stressed that it begun to reject it, and then the side effect occurred, swollen glands, and my face looked like
you stung by 100 bees.
Yeah, like I had an allergic reaction to some fish.
Yeah,
wasn't good. So that was Alex. I give him his credit. He got me in fantastic shape, but I think there was a lot of things.
We talked about this.
Didn't you start and end prep at the same weight?
Yeah. So I recomped basically by what DMP does as well is it stops the ability of ATP to regenerate in your muscle. So your muscles get really, really flat. They don't hold any water. So you can imagine you lose a lot of weight. So when you take the DMP out, you kind of get that overcompensation of water refill back in the muscle. So at my lowest point in prep, this was 10 days out, I was 272. Come show day, 10 days after, I was 296.
Fuck.
So,
that sounds like a Bikini Girls rebound.
Yeah, it sounds like a binge episode.
24 pounds in 10 days pre-contest, not post.
Yeah. That sounds like you had a Domino's pizza all-you-can-eat binge.
Yeah, and I was full as a fucking house, but I'd overcooked it a little bit as well. So
that was just from dropping that, and it wasn't like, or did you obviously carb up also?
Oh yeah, I dropped the DMP. I probably tripled my carbs, and I added a NAT 50 as well, which also holds water and fills muscles up. So there was a lot of things going like this.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how that felt on your body.
Exactly, yeah. Bad.
Hearing that you dropped to that weight, and then in a few days you bounce back, must have been somewhat of a coaster.
Oh, it was crazy. Mentally looking at the scales each day thinking, fuck.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I should be putting on this much weight. Like I'm feeling ridiculous. I'm feeling big and full, but yeah, at the same time you're thinking, nah, there's something not quite right here. Yeah. And I did get on stage. I won my class, luckily. Still looked good, but it wasn't the best version. You know what it's like when you're checking in and you're seeing your check-in photos and you're looking great, you start visualizing what the end result should look like. And it just wasn't the same as what I visualized.
Yeah. And then you changed to JP?
I had Phil Viz after Alex.
Oh, now, you've been in that camp.
Yes, I've been with Phil. I'll just say one last thing about Alex. What tipped me over the edge with Alex was that he was prepping himself at the time. I don't know if you remember this, but he was prepping for the Arnold Classic, Australia, I think it was, or the Ohio, one of the two. I think it was Australia, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, he was documenting his prep but not showing any pictures. And he was saying along the prep that he's had this pro look at him, and he said he looks fantastic, and he's like, I can't believe how much size he's put on. He got on stage, and I'm not joking here, he didn't even look like he trained. He didn't even look like, he looked terrible, to be fair. And he knows this himself. And that was the nail in the coffin for me, because I'm one of these people that to advocate something to someone else, I need to look like I know what I'm talking about. I need to have been there, wore the t-shirt.
Don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk.
That's the Instagram. That's one of the cons about the social media.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, you're able to mislead some people. That some people just are incredibly successful in the fitness industry, but have absolutely no clue what they're doing. They're just really, really good at marketing and photos and editing and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's all
I think he falls into that category, unfortunately. I think he's probably a very nice guy, but a very, very good marketer.
What made you choose him as a coach in the first place?
He's actually a good friend of mine, training partner, that was researching a lot of his videos on YouTube. And like you say, he can talk.
Yeah.
He's great at talking. But I literally think he just memorizes something and spills it off word for word in his own kind of lingo.
Yeah, because until I talked with you about this in Rotherham, I have continuously listened to his podcast, The Beast Fitness Radio.
Yeah.
But after the two of us had the talk, I was like, nah, unsubscribe.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot air, I think.
Yeah.
And why, to be honest with you, if you know bodybuilding and you know how to put on muscle, you shouldn't need to know which peptides go well with one another and why HGH mixes with this or that.
That's the icing on the cake.
Science.
Icing on the cake.
Food, hard training, rest, log booking, that's going to set the precedence for everything else.
Yeah.
These people, that's the ticking the boxes part.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like the icing on the cake to add that extra percentage, to allow things to go to the next level. But it will never be taken to the next level if the foundation is not there.
Out of 10 boxes, we have 1 or 2 boxes for drugs.
Yeah.
But some people advocate 8 boxes for drugs, and it's just not, not the right.
Typically
balance.
Shows, because they will, maybe they have good results, but I feel like they will burn out so fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not sustainable at all.
No. So before Jordan, I had Phil. Good old Phil Viz.
Turn pro with? Sorry for interrupting, but who did you turn pro with?
Phil, to be fair.
That was Phil?
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, let me say this about Phil. When I was with Phil, through the diet, he offered a massive, massive amount of support. He actually was a good friend. We still talk now.
He's on it, right?
Yeah. He pulled me out of a bad situation with Alex and made me feel very secure with his guidance. So that was a very good thing. I trusted him. He was I learned a lot from him, to be fair. I learned a lot in terms of coaching, in how to contact your clients and how much you should be in contact with them and quite a few things to do with that. So like in prep, he'd ask for photos daily. We'd contact each other daily. Whereas before, I might contact my clients once a week, twice a week most. So I learned to contact my clients more. So that was a good thing I took from him. But yeah, we turned pro together. I don't think we ever got the best look. The best look, to be fair, was probably the second show we did together, but I didn't place in that one because they didn't have a super heavyweights. They just had a heavyweights. Long story, but shit situation to be in. But anyway, we got the pro card locked up in the third show together. And then we planned a big off season. Now, the off season is kind of where it kind of fell to bits a little bit. Communication broke down slightly. But then, long story short, in 2018, I was looking for more guidance. I was doing things by myself. Then Jordan came along and he offered me this opportunity to join the team, which I couldn't turn down. At the time, I was already training with Cuba. So it was nice to have a friend on the team as well. And I'd always followed Jordan. You only have to look at him to think, fucking hell, if you want an off season, this guy knows how to pop muscle.
He knows what he's talking about.
This is the person I got to be with. So that was how I moved into that.
One question. Now, there were very specific topics when we talked about Milos and Alex. There wasn't anything special like that Phil did very different, maybe. What was he like?
He was very, very hot on blood glucose.
Yeah.
Making sure blood glucose is in a good place in order to digest nutrients and and make sure you don't accumulate body fat. I'd say other than that, the best quality he had when I worked with him was support.
Yeah, which is a major factor.
Massive, yes. I just think Phil is his own worst enemy in the sense that he likes an argument, he likes to get in people's faces, he likes the online back and forth. And if he didn't do a lot of that, he wouldn't receive a lot of the flack that he does get.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a drama queen.
Yeah. So I think he creates his own noise. Yeah. But he is a good coach. He does know what he's talking about. I think the problem arises as well is that when he puts his own bodybuilding stuff on social media, he admits himself he is the laziest, worst bodybuilder probably going. So for me, stick to what you're good at, stick to your coaching, and don't show any of your own shit because it's not doing yourself any favors.
I follow him on Instagram, and I'm like, I would be a little bit ashamed if I was him.
Yeah. And to be fair as well, the point is that he used to look a lot better than he does now.
Yeah, a lot.
I remember he put up a story where he had like a major McDonald's cheat meal. Like, it was crazy. And he said something like, "This is my meal off. Every bodybuilder do this. They just don't show it on social media. This is completely."
I sent this to you.
You sent it to me, and he was like, "This is completely normal. Everyone who says they never do this are complete scumbags. They're lying to your face." And we were just like, "That's bullshit, because you're supposed to be at a much higher level than we are, and we don't do this."
Yeah. I remember also the next day he posted his breakfast. It was like 40 days in a row. And I sent it over to Emil. I was like, sending a picture of my breakfast, which I've been having for like 1.5 years, every single day in a row. Yeah. I was like, what's the point?
I just think he tries to advocate what he's doing, and he just doesn't wash with the people that are genuine bodybuilders.
No.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse whatsoever to eat shit twice a day and say that you hit your fucking macros because your blood sugar's been low and you've digested all that cheat meal that you've had 2 meals in.
and just still look like shit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really want to say anything bad about Phil. I think people who know him will take him one way or the other. Like Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. So, that's it.
So then you started working with Jordan, and obviously everyone who usually listens to this podcast know that most of the things we preach are the same things Jordan do. But you can sum it up, what Jordan does differently compared to all these guys that we just talked about.
Yeah, so I think Jordan was the one that put the major emphasis on training.
Just one quick thing, Jamie.
Yeah.
I've set this meeting to in like 2 minutes. Does it close, or does it just like pop up and say, "Do you want to continue?"
Yeah. It's not said anything yet, but I'll press continue if it does.
All right, great.
Yeah, so
yes.
Continue. He put the major emphasis on training.
Yeah,
major emphasis on training. Major emphasis, the first time I ever did progressive overload and booked my sessions, so every session was the same. Before, I was very instinctive with my exercise choice. I just go in the gym, have a look around, do what I felt, went on the machine that was free, did 3 sets of 10, the standard style of old school bodybuilding training that we all probably did once upon a time.
Yeah, sure.
And you turned pro on.
Yeah. So I did a decent amount of work with my own methods.
We have been accused of being biased by saying that what we are doing now is the only thing that works, but I think people get it twisted, because obviously every training style works.
Yeah, but mechanisms of hypertrophy work.
Yeah, but what we're doing with you have your set sessions and you do the same session every time and you aim to progress it. It just takes out the random factor. Like, nothing is random.
Yeah. I think it allows you to be more focused in so many more sessions than you would normally. So if you're feeling a bit shit one day, had a long day at work, was feeling a bit under the weather, without those numbers in that book to kind of meet, you would definitely half-ass it or underdo what you could if you had them visual guides that lead you to fucking pushing yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan was massive on training, massive on rest, and just massive on, as you know, getting stronger, because getting stronger leads to more muscle. But we obviously have to feed that growth. So again, progressive eating, progressive training, progressive rest, progressive everything.
Yeah.
Progressive drugs as well. You know, with Jordan, I will admit that I took the most drugs that I'd ever taken. But I think there's a sweet spot with that, because at a time I started to feel worse. So when I actually pulled it back a little bit, I felt better in terms of appetite. I could eat more. My training felt better. I felt better physically, mentally. So there's definitely a thing that I learned from more is definitely not better to a point. So there's a sweet spot with everyone, and you just got to kind of find that.
Yeah.
But Jordan is very open to ideas from me as a client. I don't know if that's because I'm a professional. I've obviously got a lot of experience myself. I don't know how he works with other clients. You obviously know yourself whether you have input or not.
He just expects perfect weeks on perfect weeks.
Yeah, he just wants perfect weeks.
Yeah. But no, he's been good from the get-go. And I think that the main thing you have to have for your coach is respect.
Yeah.
You have to respect your coach. If you don't respect your coach, you just won't adhere to what they tell you to do.
And we all know that adherence is
key.
Yes. So he knows that I'm going to do whatever he tells me to. He's not got to worry about that. So when I check in, he's not got to ask me, did you cheat this week? Or did you skip a fucking leg workout this week? Not going to ask any of that shit. So it's all about progress. So I'm confident in his ability. He's confident in my ability. It's just a good match.
And you've seen the results thereof.
Yeah, definitely. So from the progressive overload, my back is improved. I would definitely be taking like an extra 10, maybe 15 pounds of muscle to the stage when I compete. Hopefully.
And that's a lot.
That is a lot at your weight. You know, relative to your body weight, that's
relative to how long I've been doing it as well.
Yeah.
So it is a lot. Especially when you kind of say that my off season didn't really start till May. I got my pro in September, but my off season didn't really start till May.
Yeah, things got serious.
So before I started dieting, I only had 7 months. So 10 to 15 pounds in 7 months off season is not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Definitely not. So one last topic before we go into the listener questions.
Yeah.
Is this whole talk about defiance. You have a whole series on YouTube called Defiance. And meeting that as a tall bodybuilder, as you said, you're probably the tallest active bodybuilder right now.
Yeah.
And we all know that bodybuilders are usually not tall.
Yes.
So how has this affected you, this defiance that you've met in your life regarding your dreams in bodybuilding?
Well, I've always been the type of person, and you're either this type of person or you're not, that faced with people who doubt you and people who say you can't do something, will use that as fuel to make sure that you prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's definitely what sort of person I've always been, not just in bodybuilding, but in football, athletics, school, from being very young. So when bodybuilding started to throw that at me as well, and being the tallest person in the room, but having long limbs and weak arms and just kind of falling behind the smaller guys and looking at them and thinking, fucking hell, how do you look like that?
Yeah.
That was just constant inspiration to keep growing. And really, when I started competing and winning shows, and you start thinking, okay, well, I'm not too bad at this, then the urge to be even better and get deeper and eat more and live the lifestyle more just became more and more. So defiance really has occurred through my whole life, but definitely in bodybuilding, I had so many people that said, you shouldn't be as big as you are, being as tall as you are. You shouldn't have good legs. I get people say all the time that I've got shit calves. Thank you very much for reminding me. They're probably not going to change too much, but there's a lot of other things that are very good and shouldn't be this good, because if they should be this good, then there would be 1,000 of me, but there's not. There's literally one IFBB professional that's 6'5", and sometimes I don't really stop and think about that. But if you stopped and thought about that, then well, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Because there's thousands of 5'10" bodybuilders, but there's only one of me. So, yeah, I think this year I'm just waiting to compete to get recognised on a pro level, and I believe that when that happens, my profile will increase quite vastly, because I'm still very unknown at this moment in time.
Do you feel that this defiance has progressed as you've gotten better? You know, because as a skinny young kid, just getting into training, obviously everyone will tell you, and that doesn't matter who you are, or you're never going to be a professional bodybuilder, because that's 1 in a million. But, you know, now you've proven yourself. You're an IFBB pro. You're about to have your pro debut this year. But do you still experience the defiance? That some people are just like, it's not going to happen. You're never going to be a good pro. Because, you know, it starts out, you're never going to be a bodybuilder. Then you become an amateur bodybuilder. Oh, you're never going to turn pro. Then you turn pro.
And now they're like, you're never going to get to the O.
Yeah.
You know, what I've realised from being professional and having more status and my profile growing, now I'm doing more stuff on YouTube, so I'm getting recognised through that as well, is the bigger you get, the more negativity you get.
Oh, yeah.
There's more people that say you can't do something. I've had loads of people say, because I've got a nice shape, because I'm not a mass monster, I wouldn't say I've got a better shape, that my physique kind of lends to nice lines, etc.
It's not so dense, you know, because you have a big frame.
But no.
So it doesn't look, you know, you look at some guys like Big Ramy.
Yeah.
Muscle on muscle on muscle, where you still have the aesthetics.
Yeah. So I've had people say to me, you should do classic physique. Like, you're not an open bodybuilder.
Yeah. Good luck. Drop 60 pounds or something.
Yeah. So I got to be 40 pounds fucking less. Like, what are you talking about, you dickhead?
Yeah.
It's just things like that. Again, the comments about the weak calves. You need to bring your calves up. Like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, just like when they always tell Luke, just get shredded.
Yeah, it's like
just get grainy.
Just get grainy.
Yeah, if only it was that easy, right? So, yeah, I think with more exposure becomes more of that negative directional abuse. Yeah. But I'm a strong fucking willed character. I got a good head on my shoulders. Don't let it affect me. I think it's just expected more than anything now.
There will always be naysayers.
At the same time, it's hard to ignore them completely. They do get your attention. But I think you just have to use that as a positive driver and not let it affect you negatively.
It's what you make it.
Just like the mosquitoes get your attention in the bedroom.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Should we dive into the questions?
Yeah, let's do some of the fun ones.
We have probably around like 10, 12 questions. Some
faster than others.
Some fast, some not.
We can start with why doesn't the giant like blowjobs?
Well, they're a little bit boring, aren't they? Right to the good stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Cut out that shit. It's like at the cinema, I don't have popcorn, I go straight to the sweets.
You don't have popcorn?
Yeah, straight to the chocolate.
Oh,
I love the popcorn, man. That's why I go to the cinema.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fucking, that's one thing. You know, this whole entire prep, there was 2 things I craved, popcorn and pizza. That was like and only occasionally I was like, oh, if I could eat something, popcorn would be nice. Gets out of prep, the whole country shuts down. No cinema.
Oh, mate, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Even the delivery pizzas have stopped now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they do deliver here still. Takeaway is open.
Bad times.
We have a question from an IFBB pro in Denmark.
Yes.
Helene, she's asking, does hard work beat talent?
Oh, hard work. It does if talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah, but If it does.
Everyone's seen Generation Iron.
Yeah.
Phil saying,
if
hard work.
If talent works hard, then depends on the person. Like, you got someone with shit genetics, no matter how hard they work, they ain't gonna fucking beat them. But if you got someone with, let's say, 7 out of 10 genetics against a 9 out of 10 genetics, the 7 out of 10 can outwork the 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's just relative.
I agree.
You can't be silly about it.
No, of course.
Some people, they got no hope. Just tell them to give up.
Just quit.
Yeah, but that's also a hard thing to realize. Like, having a dream in bodybuilding, but maybe having to come to the fact, to coming to terms with that you don't have the genetics and putting your body through what is necessary to get there. Yeah. And accepting that, I think, is very hard. A friend of ours did this.
Yeah, a friend of ours did this. He was like, I don't have the potential to get what I want, so I might just pull back and be like normal again.
He's still living the bodybuilding, but he stopped competing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a hard thing. I think
competing is definitely the deciding factor. So if you do or don't have a career in bodybuilding, you've got to compete to find out. If you start doing bad in your competitions, and let's say you do 4 competitions and you come 4th or 5th in every one, then that's a good idea that you're not very good at it.
Yeah.
That's the indicator.
Yeah.
Unless you only train for 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, it's all relative.
Yeah.
But if you're serious about it.
If you're 100%, if you're your own 100% and still place like 6th, you should maybe start reconsidering.
Yes, definitely. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What was that you put in the Coke?
A sweetener.
Sweetener.
Why do you put sweetener in the Coke?
That was that. Okay.
Try it.
This is a trick from a friend of ours. Yeah. One of the best coaches in Denmark called Sebastian.
Yeah.
He just had a guy turn pro in the men's open called Patrick Johnson.
Okay.
He brought this sweetener when we were podcasting with him.
We had him on as guest.
And he put it in everything. Like, he fucking uses one of these a day. This lasts me like a month. And we were like, that's weird. But he was like, try it. And now we're hooked. It just makes it better.
Right. It brings out the good.
You should try it. Just a sweetener. A sweetener that goes well with your stomach.
We haven't got things like that in England.
You don't have sweetener?
You don't have sweetener?
We've got like stevia and truvia.
Yeah, this is
natrium cyclamate.
Some kind of salt.
Some kind of salt.
I'll have to take a picture. I'm just going to get my charger from over here to plug in my laptop.
We'll send a picture to.
Literally on 2%.
We're sending you a picture on Instagram of the ingredient.
Awesome.
I'll send you the ingredients.
Wicked.
All right. Next question.
Yes.
What makes a good athlete? I think.
What makes an athlete?
What makes a good athlete?
Like in top 5.
Like top 3 points of what makes a good athlete. Like,
I think
maybe think like if you were to sign a client that was like very, very serious, what are the 3 major
things
you're looking for? Yeah. Skills.
Well, in terms of bodybuilding, obviously,
related.
Shape. So your structure is very important. You can't really change structure.
That's got what you talked about with the genetics.
Yeah. Genetic potential is also a key driver, really, into how far you can take someone's physique.
Yeah, but you also have to be at a certain level to see that.
Yeah. I think the defining factor, and this will only come with working with a client, is their willpower.
Yeah,
and their ability to be consistent.
Yeah,
adherence.
Yeah. Bodybuilding is one of those things that the more you put in, the more you get out.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think you just got to work with people to know that. But consistency is like key. Willpower and mindset is above all else the most important thing.
Visualization.
Yeah.
So
if you've not got it up here, then you might as well give up and find a new.
So we got willpower, mindset, and consistency, structure, genetics.
Yeah, we'll call it a top 5.
Call it top 5. All right.
We'll make it a top 5. All right. Pancakes versus waffles.
I'm gonna say waffles.
Really?
Waffle man.
You're a waffle man.
Yeah, if it's not made by me. If you go to America, if you used to have waffles or pancakes, I'd probably have. Oh, that's a tough one in America. I might have pancakes.
Oh, the blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, you go to some nice pancake houses in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll choose pancakes. I've changed my mind.
Oh, I think the giant will ask this next question. Yeah, den vi tager bare ikke for you.
Does real men eat bagels whole or half?
You even have to ask me. If I see anybody eat a bagel in half that's not a bikini athlete, then they get immediately unfollowed.
But I just changed my mind a bit on this because your bagels are small. Ours are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are big.
You're eating the bikini bagels.
Yes. I need some Denmark bagels in my life.
Yeah, you know. We're going to bring you some.
Yes, needed, much needed.
No, and another one after the pancakes and waffles. What's the Giants' go-to cheat meals? We already know, but maybe the listeners doesn't.
Obviously pizza, pepperoni
pizza
all day.
You're not a sushi guy.
No, I like something a bit dirtier.
A little bit dirtier. Pizza. No burger?
A good burger is a good burger or a pizza, but normally a pizza.
I would be more of a pizza guy. That was the first thing I had when the show was called off.
Yeah, it's got to be like quite well done as well. I don't like it too uncooked. Yeah. Got to be a bit crispy on top.
All right, we have a more serious question here. Do you think there should be any difference in regards to a bodybuilder's diet and training in relation to if you're enhanced or not?
No, the only thing you've got to take into consideration as an unenhanced athlete is your ability to recover. So you might need extra rest days or
lower volume,
less volume in your session.
Yeah, because this is like the AJ question.
Yeah,
because we're probably gonna talk with him about this on Saturday.
But we have discussed this because it seems like a lot in Denmark there is a big belief that being enhanced really changes everything. Like it's a totally different thing. But looking at the body, the mechanisms that drives hypertrophy doesn't change.
Yeah,
it's still the same thing. The muscle, you're just better at it.
The one thing it may change initially when you start working with a client is how much protein you give them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably give them less protein.
In general, you need more food.
Yeah. So, but then overall calories is the same. It's, you know, whatever effort level and activity and whatever we expend as people, we need to put a certain amount of calories in to be in a caloric surplus to build muscle. So whether it's each individual macro, if we're talking about a calorie basis, we will treat individuals the same.
Yeah.
But that would be based on what we start with and then build on week by week.
Yeah.
So no big difference in any training or
diet.
I wouldn't say so. Like I said, the recovery ability of someone assisted is going to be higher. So that just needs to be taken into consideration when we're planning their sessions in terms of volume and how frequently they're training.
Yeah. So that would be like going by the logbook, you know.
Yeah. So
the feedback.
Yeah, reading biofeedback.
Exactly. And then some natural athletes may recover fantastically well and be able to do the same exactly as what an assisted person does.
But that's very up to the individual.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Do you believe in aliens?
Do you know what? I think that the world we live in is far too big for there to be nothing else.
I agree.
Do I believe in aliens? I'm not sure, but I think there's something else for definite.
Yeah, because Jordan is from somewhere else, except for example.
Yes. Jordan's an alien for sure.
Yeah,
and Mike O'Hearn is an alien, and Dexter Jackson is an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. Like, if the universe is really as big as they say it is, how are we the only planet in this entire universe with life? Yeah. I don't mean it has to be a society like we have, but there's got to be life.
Yeah.
Which would then be extraterrestrials.
I'm fascinated by the stars, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, when you get a clear sky and you just look up at the stars, I could look at them forever. It just fascinates me how open the space is. And
yeah, it makes you feel small.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we know you have the coffee at Costa with the boys and Cuba 10 for discount.
Yeah.
That's like your pre-workout ritual, but do you have anything else that you do as a pre-workout ritual?
Yeah, go for a shit.
Yeah, that's
the classic one.
No shit, ask my girlfriend this, because we train at the same time. We'll arrive at the gym and she'll start her training and I'll come in 15 minutes later. She's like, where do you go? My pre-workout ritual.
Yeah. It's got to be done.
At home, I'll sit, take my serving of Prepare. Shameless plug. Take my serving of Prepare, write down the logbook, and then might be like, all right, time to go. Take the shit, go to the gym.
That's it. It's got to be done.
Without fail.
Well, that's fun. That's everyone's pre-workout ritual.
You can't train on a full stomach. It's got to be empty.
Yeah. Even though your intra is like 100 grams of carbs.
Yeah. All right. This question sounds like it's us who asked it, but it's not. It's from a listener.
Okay.
And obviously, we feel like we can ask this as you have met us in person.
Yeah.
Do you see any of us turning pro?
I've met you in person. How old are you both now?
I'm 21.
I'm 23.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, what?
To be fair, 23-year-old Emil, I've not seen your physique.
No, I haven't stripped down, but I've tagged you, so I thought you maybe have snipped around.
Let me have a quick look. I know other Emil, we'll say blonde and brown.
All right.
Blonde at 21. You have a very good amount of maturity and your physique's at a very good level already. So I'd say in another 3 to 4 years, you'd definitely be able to be at that level where you could turn professional.
Damn.
There you go. So let's say 24, 25.
I said I want to have a serious crack at turning pro before 25 years old.
Yeah. I think that's a realistic opportunity. Where are you?
I just sent you a message with the sweetener.
Oh, did you?
Emil N. Eriksen.
Oh, yes.
I have a recent post with the abs and thighs and the most muscular.
So remember, he's your height and 100 pounds less.
Yeah. Yeah, so to be fair, for how tall you are, you got a great amount of balance. You probably know you need to keep working on the arms.
Yeah.
The spaghetti arms.
The giant said it.
But the legs are good
calves.
and the shape's good.
He got calves. His calves are big.
Yeah, you got the calves. So if you can get the arms and then bring everything up slowly to match, then that is very impressive physique.
Yeah, I can send you. I'll just send you my 1 year transformation with Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look at that. Just give me a second. So
chest looks nice and full there as well.
Yeah, I just sent you the 1 year with Jordan.
Oh yeah, that's massive. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
that is a good transformation.
So if you like add another 2 years, 3 years on that
Yeah,
of this consistent approach,
yeah.
and it's going to be fucking very, very good. So
Oh.
my answer is yes to both.
Oh well.
Oh, approved by the giant.
We actually had this because Emil was like he wants to turn pro within 25, which is like 4 years and 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm turning 22 in 3 months. So it's 3 years and 3 months.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll top that.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you both a 3-year target.
All right.
Well, Kuba is on me. He's like, yeah, we're chasing it. He's like, you're nailing it. To put it in perspective, I'm roughly 20 pounds in stage weight below my weight cut.
Yeah.
In 3 years should be realistic.
Yeah. If you're looking at like 6-7 pound a year, you'll be spot on.
Which I have been doing consistently.
Yeah.
Summer 2023 is the year, boys.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe it'll be in England.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, man. That was nice. So obviously you are also struck by the whole Corona situation, but we have one question: your thoughts on the Corona situation?
I've got loads of thoughts.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe.
My biggest thought is, especially in the UK, because I know what's happening over here, I feel like we all need to do our bit, and whatever that entails, whatever the government tells us to do, we need to abide by their advice. Because I still see a lot of people going against that, going out in public. In the UK at the minute, they're all about social distancing and keeping distance and staying at home as much as possible. So I own my own gym, so I can still go there and train myself, but nobody else is allowed in the gym. I've had people offer me, I don't know how much it is in Denmark money, but 1,000 British pounds.
Yeah,
for
that's
a key.
10,000 Danish crowns.
Yeah, so I've had that much money offered just for a key to go into the gym and train by someone. I was like, no, can't be happening.
Yeah.
So in terms of helping the spread of the virus and preventing that as much as possible, whatever conspiracy theories are out there in why this virus is going on and whatever else, I just want to try and do my bit to help the situation as it is. In terms of training, I think that a lot of people were worried initially because their mental health would suffer drastically from not being able to train in the gym. But it's been very inspiring seeing how many people have took the initiative to create workouts at home and use like different types of equipment to get some crazy workouts. So I think it's made people think, and it's made people also value what they do have, and they've realized that they don't have control over what happens. Like there's things of higher power that really decide as humans what we and how we live. So I think coming out of this, people will have a much greater appreciation for general life and being able to do things. So I actually see it as being a very good thing.
Yeah, we talked about this. Like, it's taking one step back right now.
Yeah.
2 steps forward, because
yeah,
kids will be happy to come back to school. People will love their jobs.
Yeah.
They will appreciate a walk in the sunlight, you know.
Yeah.
Good conscience, everything. So I 100% agreed. And we also had a question on your thoughts on training when all the gyms are closed, and you briefly touched on this just now.
Yeah, so I think you just got to be inventive. Like, you can do great things with a few bands and a few dumbbells or a bar.
Yeah.
If you haven't got access to a bar or dumbbells and you're just using bands,
or buy one,
you can still have a good workout. I think in times like this, you've got to make it fun. You've got to get outside. You've got to involve the family, the kids. If you're trying to do it by yourself, it's going to be hard to be motivated. But I say this, for the people who take this very seriously, for the professionals or for the amateurs that really see themselves having a career in bodybuilding, they will make sure that they train to a high degree at whatever cost. They will make it happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there now saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, that's just a general mindset thing. So the people with a strong mindset will still make it happen and make sure they train, make sure they tick as many boxes as possible. The most important thing you need right now is a routine and goals. So the goals might be completely different to what they were a month ago, but you still need a goal.
Yeah, you can't do structure.
Yeah, the goal could be weight loss, and then you build your structure around your goal. Things have just temporarily changed. It's a new challenge, and that's all it is.
I also think it helps people because some people lost their job and then they fall off the wagon, you know, and they lose the structure. And sitting on the couch all day, you don't have a job, you're not allowed to go outside, you can't go to the gym. It's easy to become maniac, you know.
Yeah.
I would be crazy if that was me. We're both lucky that we're still able to work. Emil can study from home. He's in school, and I have access to a home gym. So I'm very fortunate in that way.
And we still got the structure of our meals.
Yeah, but even if I didn't have all this, if you know, getting up in the morning, doing your cardio, having your meals, and getting your sleep still sets you a goal.
Yeah.
You still have the same boxes to tick. There's just not the gym and work boxes.
Yeah. I've said to all my clients this week, you've all changed, your structure's all changed. So you now have the ability to wake up whenever you want, eat when you want, go out for a walk when you want, or just sit down on the couch all day and do what you want. So make sure before you go to bed every evening, write down the times you're going to do everything the next day.
Yeah.
You wake up, when you eat, and you go for a walk, and you have that structure that sets your mindset in the right way before you even fucking have to think. Because when you have to think about, have you ever had a structure of a diet and then had the ability, like you said before, to eat off plan and choose what you want to eat? Well, choosing what you want to eat is like, fucking hell.
I
would be lost.
And anxiety attack.
That was what, when Koopa first told me, eat tonight, you know, I was like, he just said, eat tonight. And I was like,
yeah.
What do I eat? What
so
do
imagine doing that 6
I don't know
times
how many grams. What do I eat?
Yeah. Imagine doing that 6 times a day, 7 times a week.
Yeah, I would go straight to the asylum.
Yeah, I can't.
So have that structure in place, write it down, and it will fucking sort you out.
All right, next question.
Yeah, what got you?
Yeah.
What got you into the sport of bodybuilding? What was your motivational driving factor, and which part of bodybuilding caught your attention the most?
Well, what caught my attention the most was the pants, obviously.
The pants.
Men in small pants, you know.
Really?
Got your attention. No, in all seriousness, my uncle was a bodybuilder competitively. And I remember I was about 10 years old and we was visiting his house. He was getting ready for a show. He came down in his posing trunks to show my mum, his sister, what he looked like and get her opinion. I didn't really understand what was going on at the time.
You were just like, what the fuck is those pants, man?
What the fuck is the pants and what's these abs and muscles and shit? Yeah, and I was very impressed. And then from the back of that, went to watch him in a few shows. Fast forward 4 years, I was training with him as my first proper training partner. So that's what inspired me originally. And then obviously, like all of us, watched Pumping Iron very early on and just got more and more kind of deeper in the hole.
Yeah. And then we got the last one. We have a question about Koopa.
Yeah.
And this is not from us. This is from a listener.
Everything is listener questions. How does Koopa smell? This person has guessed like onion with a scent of male perfume.
Like a manly man.
Like a manly onion.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Shrek.
He smells like a mix between sweat, sex, and Tren.
so a manly man.
That's a very manly man.
A manly man, yes, a very manly man.
But no onion.
That's man shit.
Yeah.
All right.
We got one for all the listeners also.
Yeah. To pluck you, we know you have Team Giant.
Yes.
And you have made some investments in Team Giant recently, I know.
I have, yes. So I've always wanted to do my clothing on a bigger scale, but never had the infrastructure to be able to do that. I was always taking orders on Instagram, ordering the clothes myself, taking payment, and then having to distribute. So you can imagine one order would take 2 to 3 weeks, and I'd have to do all the legwork. So it just wasn't feasible to push it. So now I've set up the website. You can order on there. It's team-giant.com. You can order on there, and it ships worldwide. So the stress is off me. Somebody's controlling it. I'm going to release 4 or 5 designs every 3 or 4 months. So when the designs sell out,
we have the bagel shirt. You have the bagel shirt.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got the bagel shirt. I've got the jumper and the hoodie. What I wanted to do as well was develop a clothing line which I could fit into myself. Yeah. So the Jordan stuff is great, but in the jumpers, I like a 5XL. They only go up to 4.
Yeah, these ones.
So the 4 is like a little bit. It's not tight, but it's just not loose enough.
Yeah. Oh, you can't get
so
back.
I made mine 5, and now they're nice. So yeah, if anybody wants some clothes, it's that. And then coaching-wise, coaching is still going through this pandemic that we're all going through at the minute. There's still people out there needing coaching and accountability and help during this obviously difficult time. So if you need me for coaching, I would just say hit me up on Instagram. It's aka the Giant if you don't already know.
Yeah, and we will obviously pluck this.
You will get plucked.
Yeah, that's pretty much me in a box. Instagram, and that's about it. Obviously, you follow me on the JP website.
What about YouTube?
YouTube is the Giant. I'm trying, obviously, put as much content on there at the minute. I'm aiming really for 1 video a week. This week I've done a bit more, obviously, to try and help people out with home workouts. But 1 video a week, and I just want to really give 1, entertainment, and 2, education. If I can continue to do that, then I'm happy.
I really enjoy the Defiance series.
Yeah.
But you also have a very, very good videographer in Jay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're lucky over there.
Yeah, he's good.
Man.
We're in safe hands. Jay is the UK's #1, I would say, in what he does.
You got a few good ones. Rebecca is good too.
And Hannah is good.
Yeah, Rebecca's good. Hannah's good, who works with Eddie. I've worked with all of them, to be fair. They're all very good. But
I like the synergy that Jay is also your friend. It feels like a family when you watch the videos.
It's good because I can be myself with him.
Yeah.
And it definitely goes to the videos. I'll be honest with you. There's a video dropping on JP's site tomorrow that Jay filmed. And I think it's going to be the best video of me on the site.
Really?
Yeah, I think that video's, when you feel like something's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're feeling right now.
We're sitting with that right now.
Yeah. So there you go. This podcast is that video for me.
What's the topic, if you can expose it?
It is a push workout, shoulder dominant, but it's just, there's a bit of banter in the whole video. And
some F-bombs.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you've watched my videos before, and I think on the site there's different characters.
Yeah.
So each video and each person will lend to a certain audience.
Yeah. Contribute to something else.
I'm just hoping that people like my videos because there's that element of humor in there, and it's not too serious.
Yeah, that's one part that we enjoy. Also, like Cuba,
Yeah.
You have the perfect mix of being entertaining,
intense,
and educational.
Yeah.
And then with a good videographer on top.
Yeah. It's a good mix.
Yeah. It's a good mix. I don't think, do we have anything else?
Nothing else but a massive thank you.
And maybe the front double for the listeners.
Shall I get in the camera?
And maybe
the giant arms. Yeah, we have one thing, because you said your danglers was bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you can get
you can try to pronounce the podcast name.
Okay.
Okay.
Ian.
Snak.
Snak.
Træning.
Træning. Oh, training.
Yeah.
En snak om træning.
En snak om training.
Yeah. and translated, that's a talk about training.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Chat about
En
training.
snak om training. Got
Chat
it.
about training. Yeah.
That's the podcast name.
Perfect.
Very
I'll remember that one.
Yeah, you better.
We're obviously going to put your Instagram and your YouTube and Trained by JP and all this in the description.
Awesome.
Block the hell out of this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys.
And we
Been
don't
a pleasure.
hope that AJ gets cold feet.
Yeah, we hope that this doesn't scare AJ away too much. Because we got him.
I'm sure he won't. He's too nice to let anybody down.
Yeah. He's probably not going to watch this to the end. So do you have any dirt on him?
You know what? AJ is a typical natty bodybuilder. Clean cut, clean as a whistle. There's no dirt. There's no sabotage. You get what you see. No, he's a nice guy. There's no dirt. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to ask him
to tease him with. But yeah,
you ask him if there's any dirt on himself, which I'm sure he will.
Yeah, but I think we'll just round it off.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. This was huge for us. You're the first international guest on a Danish fitness podcast, as far as we're concerned.
My pleasure, and thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to be the first international guest as well.
Of course,
and hopefully we'll see you later this year in Rotherham.
Yes,
definitely. I'll come and stay by Cubers.
You'll bring the bagels.
And we'll bring bagels.
Yeah, I'm holding you to that now.
That's all right.
We are bringing them. Don't worry.
I'll just have to end my prep first in October, then we'll come over.
Yes, perfect. Hey, come over just before Christmas. We'll have a Christmas party.
Thank you so much,
we'll have a Christmas party. Hey.
Yeah, awesome.
See you, man.
Cheers.
Right, thanks very much. See you later, guys.
See you.